Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping's Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game Chronicles of Weirlight. We're at the final feast. I keep calling it that, but there's an actual term, and if I don't actually say it, I will go insane.
Closing banquet.
I mean, sure, it's probably called that, but it's something along those lines.
We apparently want him to go insane.
Something along it's like the end of the event and there's food. And that's
Grand
all.
ball? I don't know.
Yes, okay, yes. It is. It is called the Grand Ball.
Yes.
The evening after the melee and the final round of jousting.
Who won the joust? Who finally? We don't know who won.
Well, we do know, as we all, many people who watched went to.
Yes, we were all there.
I think went to watch it. Of course.
Barristan,
yeah, Barristan tell me one. Yes, basically.
Woo! Good.
Yeah.
That's the preference.
And the melee.
Yeah.
Oh,
However, it was very close between him and Jaime Lannister. But as they basically he had more lances by the time they essentially knocked each other off simultaneously, but Barristan Selmy had many more lances at that point, so he had won. And no one's really surprised, but everyone's like, cool. But yeah, so yeah, basically. So the Grand Ball is much different than the Welcome Feast, because the function of the Welcome Feast was everyone to gather in from their weary travels and to sup and be fed by their liege lord, the ruler of all the seven kingdoms, sitter upon by the Iron Throne, Robert Baratheon. The Grand Ball is super. But the Grand Ball is quite different. This isn't about feasting. This is about celebrating. It is the send-off to one of the great royal events. So therefore, we've seen the grand, halls of the Red Keep. We ate in them. There are tables off to the side, but the main floor has been cleared for dancing. I think, and partying, there was a few people who danced at the Welcome Feast. That's not really what it was about. But this is a ball. And while the Welcome Feast, everyone wore quite top shelf, this is the event where you bring your best. Because if you don't bring your best, why are you even here? There is powder, jewels, gowns of utter event. I mean, we just watched about a week of men putting on armor, but it is this night where we see the women don their armor. Their true battle regalia of their finest pearls and most sparkling rubies. Everyone is top notch. Any man who has a wife is wearing their best outfit. You can very easily tell the unmarried men.
They're sitting off eating.
Because the wives were the ones like, no, you're going to wear this.
Essentially, yeah.
Sitting off to the side, just eating chips.
Mm-hmm. You do know, was it, you have, there's lots of, people here, of course, wearing, liveried heralds, and, everyone is preceded by their own, personal herald. It's very much like the Welcome Feast. They're being very much called in. But there is music playing somehow, fills this grand hall that seems like sound shouldn't be able to even fill something of this size. This hall that was designed to literally hold a dragon, comfortably. But
terrifying.
As all the dragons are gone, and they'll never come back.
Of course
they're all dead.
Or never.
Of course. Of
Mhm.
course.
We come upon a great feast for the eyes as lords and ladies in the most, again, their greatest clothes they have it to date, dance coordinatingly with each other, as all dances in this age are full coordinated. They're dancing the Lagon, which is a very traditional and very well-known Westerosi dance. It's mostly individual, as in just two partners each, but all of the movements of both male and female are coordinated. All the women curtsy at the same time, all the men bow at the same time. And there is much merriment, as it's not, though it is coordinated, there isn't an air of stifleness. It's not like an English court where everyone sort of is a little tighter. There is a sense of looseness and merriment to it. The music isn't perfect or stilted. It's got a bit of an identity to it, a flow, and that's shown in the kind of hops and jumps and laughs coming from those participating in the dance. Though, normally we'd see in these things like everyone being very serious, but everyone's just kind of smiling and laughing because the cups are flowing tonight. Because as we saw with the welcoming feast, where King Robert brought a different alcoholic beverage for every one of the 7 courses, all of those alcoholic beverages plus more are on display tonight. Wine from all over, ales, meads, hard and soft liqueurs. There is even people are very oohing and awing at some of the decorations. We would see what we as people know as bananas, all just kind of decorating this one area. No one's eating them, but everyone's just like, holy crap, what's that? And it's just oddities from afar. And there are lovely soft the drinks drinks made from it's essentially like lemonade and limeade essentially here, but they are fanciful drinks that only the truly rich can enjoy, as there is in fact also sculptures of ice that hold their place.
Fancy.
Very much so. And we then kind of zoom into a sort of table almost that's off looking at the dance floor. We see stood there Tedric Weirlight in his in his best gown. Jesse, if you're able, could you tell me what is Tedric wearing? Who is Tedric wearing tonight?
Who are you wearing?
Louis Vuitton.
The mysterious again, or it gets the hose again.
Shh.
He is wearing a billowed sleeve top, where the tightens around the forearms, and then white sleeves, the white shirt that is barely seen, the sleeves tip out to his hands. And the mane of it, the sleeves, and then there's a part that comes down right here. That's the color purple, along with the forearm pieces of our house. And the main color of the rest of it is that purple, but there is a embroidered, almost like a filigree on it in the red of our house, in a very poppy, floral-like design. He has a necklace that hangs down about right to here. About that big is the pendant, and it is crafted as a Weirlight flower with a red gold as the base of it, and then purple gems to make up other petals, with a rather hammered out design in the center.
Is that the Weirlight pendant, the one worn by the Lord of the House? Yes. Something your father wore for quite some time, and now you wear proudly on your chest. And one day your son will wear. Very nice. Stand there looking very regal, proud, obviously perfectly shaved.
One thing, I believe I do have a brace on one of my legs, and probably have a slight cane with me.
I would probably say there is a kind of probably hidden in your pantaloons
Yes.
is a sort of brace, yes. And I would say sat next to you in a chair is your wife, Vivian.
Yes.
She's back.
Vivian, what are you wearing?
Yes. My previous choice of attire was advised would not be appropriate due to my recovery, but I've chosen a dress of the mirror style of a deep purple, very light flowing gown that cut in reach fashion, very deep low cut V that kind of shows the only benefit of being poisoned and not eating for a couple of days. I have a much slimmer waist now. There's a slight peaking when I move. You can see my waist such if I move a certain way, in a deep purple color. And much like to Tedrix, the accents of red, though, that kind of bind the dress that, if I were not careful, it might slide off, though are not, it's not fabric itself, it's rubies that fasten it together. And the sleeves, much like the gown, kind of flow open, but they're not at all confining to my arms so that I may move about very freely. And my hair, not done up, it's most of the hair is down, but it is pinned slightly with the same rubies fastened of ruby Weirlights, but actual poppies placed into my hair. And I'm wearing the emerald necklace Tedric got for me shopping.
Excellent. Yeah, so you two are sitting there. There are several people who this very evening have come up to both of you. They're being well-wishers. They're wishing Vivian you're well, and so you obviously so strong, and people heard that you got poisoned. The fact that you're like sitting strong, many people have attested to your countenance and strength, and there's been like a good amount of people who have come up and wished you well.
Yes.
There's a few people who you probably were just like, oh, they heard about it and they want to say something nice. But there were definitely some people, especially from the Reach, that you were just like, yeah, okay.
Pleasantries. I know who they are.
We saw you bitches earlier. We know who you are.
Fair enough.
It is better to be my friend than my husband's enemy, so I know.
Nice. Very nice.
I think indeed.
Well played. Well played.
We do see kind of stood just off behind Vivian. We do see Thorsten. He is in his I think Maester outfit as usual.
My regal maester outfit. Thank
Yeah.
you.
The nicest.
Tell me, Thorsten, what makes this one regal?
It's a darker gray.
Whoa.
It's not
One
frayed
would
at
say-
all.
One would say more rich gray.
Yeah, a more rich gray. Exactly.
If gray could be rich.
It's clean.
It's clean.
Very
Yes.
clean.
Unstained.
Freshly pressed. It's just this nicest. Yes.
It's a darker gray.
Whoa.
Fantastic. You are mostly here to sort of make sure Vivian
doesn't overdo it.
Well, yeah. You're like, please do not drink wine. It is so bad for you right now. It could cause permanent damage. And so you are basically here to make sure she doesn't have more than like 1 or 2 glasses. Because honestly, even that could be dangerous to her right now. Vivian, are you heeding your maester's advice? And if you are, to what degree?
By the bare minimum. I know he's very skilled. He's helped me birth all 5 of my children, but I have not drunk wine in at least 3 days, and that is a detriment.
Lord.
Poor
I'm
baby.
so sorry.
Can I smell it at least?
No, it'll waft.
Just get a walk.
Oh, please.
Yes, but isn't that going to be worse?
Yep. T-Jerk, I'm guessing you have been drinking this night. I mean, there is much.
I'm also drinking a bit lighter. In respect for my wife not being able to drink that much.
I'm just like on his shoulder, like, how does it taste? Does it like,
Let me live vicariously
It has a
through
very
you.
good, very floral body, and
Can I watch
The
you
legs.
drink it?
Right,
Slowly,
try the
slowly,
red
slowly.
yeah, try this one.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, how it tastes.
Tell me how that one tastes.
I would say perhaps not too far at all. Perhaps just now coming up to the side of the table, we do see Clarissa.
Hello.
Like, Clarissa, tell me about your outfit. Who you wearing?
Who am I wearing? So Clary is dressed in a tight green silk slip with a embroidered lace shawl type thing over it that reaches down to the floor. Her shoulders are well covered, and it's all very tight. Like her neck is. She's suffocating a little bit, but she has a glass of wine in her hand, and it's quickly gone, so it doesn't very much matter.
Yep. No matter where you go, Clarissa, I will just say that those wine glasses never seem to end.
Ah, perfect. As I wish it. But yeah, her hair's down. It's curled. It's very nice.
We do see, I think, a lot of women with their hair styled down, as it is. It's that night. None of the men notice, but the women do. We all know why.
I also have my steward brooch out, displayed very proudly.
Whoa.
Nice.
For all to see.
Excellent. And what are you doing right now, Clarissa?
Drinking, and then also listening. But that's it for this evening. It's been a long month.
It has. Technically, you've only been here 12 days.
Are you sure?
Feels
Very.
so much longer.
Technically, it's 12 days with the trip and then getting here and then all this stuff happens.
That was a whole event. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, she's watching out, listening. She wants to find all of the juicy gossip. And, of course, her paranoid mind is always listening out for word of trouble among guards and things.
I will say, with your passive, though you have been drinking, you notice Sir Brian. Sir Brian is kind of not wearing... You saw what he wore at the welcome feast and kind of in between. He hasn't been wearing that much finery. But tonight you see he is actually wearing quite detailed finery. A deep, ruby, vibrant red outfit. And it is of incredible quality and make. Very... high, esteemed, and expensive, and he's actually wearing some jewelry as well. It suddenly looks like for a hedge knight, he suddenly is now dressing as if he was a high lord of some kind.
Oh gosh, I wonder why.
Weird.
He also has, which is very much the Dornish style, he does have a blade at his hip, which others might be like, oh, why would you bring something? But the Dornish, they do that sometimes.
Dornish or Dorn?
I think she's like, weird. I'll take another one of those.
You have also seen Iris here. She is in... Unfortunately, she doesn't really dress up. She is in all black and a veil, as she has been. And there are well-wishers wishing her well, and... it's very brief, and you can't help notice that a lot of the people who come up and wish her well are young men, but she seems to thank them but seem to move them on quite quickly. So there is that. So very excellent. We would probably see perhaps across the dance floor, in standing among some other knights, we see Naimora.
Mm-hmm.
Naimora, what are you wearing?
Naimora, for once in her life, is not actually wearing armor. She looks supremely uncomfortable in a dress.
Mm-hmm.
That is this very, very loose-fitting, very easily tailored sort of very obviously was procured on short notice, but I mean it's very diaphanous and free-flowing, and but it's really simple. She's not wearing any jewelry. The dress is this very very light yellow color almost.
Ooh.
And she's wearing her hair down in just this. It's just this curly, just riot. It's just
I was saying it's out of its braid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be just riotous and curly because it's out of its braid and has not been so for several years. And is also sort of in the Dornish style. She does have a what's a little belt, a little gold and brass belt, with a dagger hanging on it, with just a slight little fancy dagger, and those sort of Roman gladiator sandals that go up the calves.
I love it.
And just looks incredibly uncomfortable, but is still moving among all of the the mercenaries and the people, and just talking to them, trying to act as if nothing's different.
The mercenaries are definitely not here, but
and the guards and
yeah, I would say you are currently probably talking to Sir Etten Hogg.
Mm-hmm. How's he look dressed up?
Oh yeah, he's dressed to the nines. His hair looks phenomenal. I mean, he kind of always did, but but he looks phenomenal. He's wearing the colors of House. My God.
Manning?
Thank you, Manning.
Manning, thank you.
I almost said
You know
Manning,
this.
which is not right.
I got you. It's okay. I got you.
Of House Manning, so he has this sort of subtle red, very very fine, embroidered kind of doublet on, and he has a sort of dark yellow, kind of gold, embroidery on it. No cape, obviously. This is a place for dancing. Nobody's wearing a cape. Well, a few people.
Except Henrik.
Not
Half.
Don't judge my outfit yet. You haven't seen it.
But yeah, no, he definitely it has very thick shoulders and a sort of almost red leather strip down the sides of the outer parts. Night still. But I think you have been maybe talking with him in the past 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
He definitely did the thing where he came up to you and he was like, "Ah, milady," and you were like,
then I turned around.
no. But yeah, you turned around and he kind of kept up with it, and you're like, "No, Eden, it's me." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." I know.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
But yeah, he just was shocked. But I think you guys are just kind of talking because he's heard. Don't know how. It's been a day, but
that gets around quickly, doesn't it?
He goes, Sylvie knows some people who are in the upper court, and the upper people in the upper court know some people, and there were some documents filed, and it was filed by a Santagar, and
I would appreciate it if you didn't make it a big deal about who did it, but
About who did it? Oh, sure. No, I haven't been making a big deal about who did it. I have been making a big deal about it. I've told everyone.
Oh
Like,
no.
Everyone.
Why? Why do you hate me this much? Now there's going to be. It's bad enough that I have to wear this dress.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
I'm sure you had to.
No, I didn't have to, but it felt like I should. I don't know.
I think you look rare. I think I don't know if I'd ever see you like this again, so I think you look great.
Ah, thank you. Your hair looks perfect today.
Does it?
By the way.
He seems immediately like, oh, does it? Good. All right. Kind of like looks back to try and find something reflective.
But yeah, I snagged some wine off of some nearby passing a tray somewhere. There's got to be wine nearby.
Yeah, he's like, have you tried this? I think it's made out of flower petals from some island.
Is it any good?
I go, I mean, it doesn't taste like burning, so I would say so.
All right,
Doesn't taste like burning.
Accurate.
All the best alcohol. All the best alcohol tastes like it's going to scorch your throat out, but sure.
I go, I would prefer it to get me drunk and not feel like I would want to die. That's just a personal
Then
preference.
how do you know it's working?
I suppose when you wake up. Depending on where you wake up, I think that's how you know if it's working. But we kind of just see you two are talking a little bit. Obviously, he gets his moment to congratulate you on everything. He goes, I was a bit shocked that you were going to wear this after all. I mean, you're one of the guests of honor, so you're going to be called up to that stage in about an hour and given things.
Oh, don't remind me. I don't know.
I'm sure it will put a sour face on many older knights, and I personally cannot wait.
Let them see who I am, and let them see that I'm a woman, and let them see that I almost won anyways.
I mean, about a week ago, I would probably say that was a bad idea, but the way your house has come around this past week, I would say this is the time to do it.
I know, right? I don't think I would have had the courage to do it unless if it weren't for the fact that all the things that we have just gone through. And still.
Well, so I think Sylvie was rooting for you, and I was guarding Sylvie, so you could say I was protecting your interests.
Thank you, and please thank Lady Manning for me as well.
Of course. I mean, you could just talk to her. She's right over there. I think she's dancing with her husband.
Go ahead, do it.
Who, just bless his heart, cannot dance. Just like we see Kevin, and he is the stiffest person. Like he's doing the dances, but it's not like he's nervous. He's just not. He has no
rhythm.
No rhythm or no flexibility.
Both.
Meanwhile, is Sylvie like an angel on the dance floor?
Gliding.
She's drifting.
I mean, there's
like
always
a
one
cloud.
that's doing better.
If she is made of silk.
Need to spend more time with her.
She's great.
We will then see as the dance is beginning to end, we do see deep in the throng dancing, we see Henrik. Henrik, what are you wearing, my boy?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, Henrik is wearing, with rings, yes. Henrik is wearing this very nice silk doublet. I think he has an outfit on that was a little bit of a risky move when he first brought it, but because he has more confidence now. He's definitely leaned into the whole flower vibe that he kind of got made fun of for earlier. And it's like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna own this now because I fucking made the semifinals, bitches. And it's a very nice lavender purple, and it has, I think, one of his sister's embroideries all over it, decorated with the poppies, but they are inlaid with dark purple amethyst and some like black vines look like they're coming up like from the tight sleeves and like near the shoulders as well. I've got a lot of rings on with several flowers, mostly with like ruby gems inlaid for them as well. Form-fitting and tight, and just like give this like strong but like slender look about Henrik, I think.
I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Henrik, you are currently dancing with your fifth lady of the evening, as there has been many young ladies who have demanded a dance.
And who am I but to deny anyone? So I have to.
Yeah, and it's sort of been back and forth. Like the moment something's done, it's and it's just like you dance with me next, and you're like, oh, well, and then they've just like taken you out, and you're like, okay,
of course, yes, yeah. Who am I dancing with now?
That's a good point. Yes, who are you dancing with? No,
we don't know.
No,
not
no.
All right.
No, not Ashela.
Wishes.
I would say
I've given you enough warnings there.
I would say you were probably dancing with let's see here. Eleanor Ambrose. The House Ambrose is a Reach house. Her mother is a Tyrell cousin. And she's been like talking to you just about like basically like honestly like fashion, like fall dresses and and things, and she hasn't really let you really fully comment on anything. She just sort of like keeps talking.
Yeah, and like I feel disappointed because like I have a lot of opinions about this, and like what I think is gonna be up and coming in the next season, and like colors, I think feel like really well.
Like, and I do love red. Oh, red is fantastic. I can't think about it. Just
okay,
just like small things, but then she just goes.
Yes.
She goes, red is nice, but green really is where it is at right now.
Okay. Yes, I see.
But she's like a pretty good dancer.
Okay.
But yes, it is true that there is your demand to dance with you is rather high.
Yes. Well, I'm dancing and holding on to as many ladies as I possibly can. Definitely have had a lot to drink so far. Not enough to get drunk, just like to enjoy the moment. I think have a really good time.
Mm-hmm. I think partway through dancing, you do notice now. You've seen some other members of the air clubs, like Layden's obviously here. He's dressed predominantly in this like very rich black that has a like just royal purple like very small like mantle almost over it, and these fine gloves, and there is like a simple kind of very like Tudor Georgian style like wide shoulder necklace that is just a deep made of gold and has like intense like rubies in it, and then possibly a polished aconite at the center.
Okay.
And I think, and you've seen him here. Obviously, he made it to the semifinals as well, so he is also a guest of honor. But I think while dancing, you do notice Walton arriving, also dressed in kind of dark, dark in black with gold and yellow accents all throughout him, as is are his house colors. Everyone's just so coordinated. But he does seem to arrive, and you've seen some other members of the Heirs Club who've congratulated you and whatnot. But you notice them while dancing. Now this is definitely a question I have as we moved over. Mariella.
Hi.
Hi. Are you dancing with anyone? Because people would have asked you.
Yeah, probably.
Just a lot.
I just didn't want to assume anything. I knew Henrik would dance, but I didn't want to assume
Over
anything.
the wine glass.
We kind of moved to the kind of other corner of the dance, and we see Mariella also. Let's see here. Now, I've already talked to Henrik about this before, but Mariella, would you Heather?
Nah, you're good.
Heather, if you want to weigh in here too, please.
Heather, weigh in, please.
Give me your opinion. I helped you with your wardrobe earlier. Join me.
What should our characters do, Heather? We need help on this.
I would say so. What is Mariella wearing?
It's probably like with the opening kind of party kind of situation, it was kind of more sturdier fabric. This is probably more of a lighter fabric. It's purple that's almost like bordering on like an indigo, and it's kind of crossed over her in the front, and it's just sitting just like at the proper point of like not showing enough shoulder where it's like, what the fuck is going on? That's risky. With like embroidery of like Weirlights and poppies kind of intermingled with like small various jewels, be it rubies or like rhodolite garnets, which kind of have like this raspberry kind of color, and amethyst and things kind of like woven throughout it. Kind of on the bodice, and then it kind of like crosses over to help like kind of like accentuate the waist, and on the back it's kind of like a lower cut back, which is kind of revealed every so often during like a dance turn with like her hair down, so it's kind of like a peekaboo back in some ways because of like the curtain of hair. Which is like very subtly kind of pinned so then it doesn't like fall in her face, with like small little bits of like mirroring gems that are in the embroidery on the top.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Excellent. I love it. Yeah. Currently, I believe. Ooh, who would you be dancing with?
I don't know.
Ooh, I know. Yes. Yes, I believe you are dancing with Raymond Beesbury.
Do I need to do like a status test so that I know who this is?
Another reach house, I think.
You do know who he is. He's a reach house.
Okay.
Their castle is Honeyholt.
Okay.
And
the
you know-
apiaries for the world?
Yes, they are the main supplier of honey.
Okay.
Get a monopoly too.
To all the different places. They also controlled a few. They only have one meadery, but technically there's this other house that rules most of them, but they sell their honey to them.
Those dicks.
Yep. I will because both of you would know this other thing. You would know House Ambrose, Henrik. Their words are never resting, but unfortunately they have a very unfortunate house sigil, which is a yellow field covered in red ants.
Oh.
And I don't mean like a one or two, like it's a lot of red ants. But House Honeyholt, House Beesbury, is of course they have 3 yellow beehives on a black pail, on a black and yellow field, and their motto is of course, "Beware our sting."
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you are currently dancing with I think Raymond Beesbury. You do know his mother is a Frey.
Okay.
I know.
But he's still quite handsome. He is currently speaking to you about just how well you did in the equine event. And in fact, the only really topic of conversation is you. And it's he seems like definitely
despite my fact of like maybe like trying to get him to like say who the hell he is on most fronts, or like does it just keep cycling back to me?
It does kind of cycle back to you
Okay.
a lot. He doesn't seem to engage about himself at all.
Lovely.
Yep, it's a little
Awkward.
I would say. You know, he seems to just have random things to say about you that are all very positive, but it'll get a little awkward at this point. So we see the twins dancing, enjoying themselves. The other members of the house sort of on the outside, like looking in at their young wards, like enjoying themselves. So a dance ends, and Henrik, you were like, okay, great, and because you're sort of just waiting for the assault, but it doesn't come. In fact, that sort of gaggle of young ladies who had sort of gathered, you don't see them anymore. You're not entirely sure what happened to them.
I miss it. Look down. Make sure my clothes are all, straight and everything. Okay.
I
look great.
You look fantastic, and of course,
No.
what did I just call her? Eleanor. Eleanor was like, that was absolutely, that was just really fancy, like dancing with you. I'm quite keen to, well, it was very nice to dance with you, as she just sort of like, moves away from you.
Okay. I know. I'm dreading it. No.
And you just, hear, Henrik Weirlight.
I turned and I was her face over talking.
Don't you look a dashing treat? As you see the second daughter of the influential Ashford family, Ashela Ashford. Ashela is a vision in almost like this sort of like tight form-fitting periwinkle lavender, very much Reach faction, very slim flowing princess look. Her hair, most of it is down. Her kind of honey blonde hair is down, but there is a sort of like crown of 2 rows of braids that are placed into it, and there are gems that are carved in the shape of small like birds and butterflies and flowers, all decorated very tastefully throughout her hair. And there are silk strands moving from each individual to almost give her as if she was wearing like a collar, like when, kind of the older noble ladies wear, but in just this sort of younger fashion to it. Her gray eyes looking you up and down as if you were a... I think enjoyable.
Hey, she looks so
Horrifying.
good. So
good. Yep. She had just said this to you. What is your response?
Oh gosh, it's like, that is very kind of you, lady. I said none could compare with how stunning you look. However, you are.
And she kind of puts her hand on her heart. She has a fan in her hand, and she has placed it, and you notice the fan has these amazing amethysts running up it, dotted with these small rubies. You've never seen those colors on her before.
No. Surprise, yeah.
And there's almost what looks like possibly kind of like a somehow lavender and like pale white peacock feather coming out the bottom of it.
You know what I was gonna be dressed as? Never mind, doesn't matter. Gosh. thinking in my head.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it does seem to work. And she goes, you you are truly just as charming as you look, and as you joust. I do not believe I have been able to personally congratulate you on the utter skill you displayed on the field. Your first showing as well. A lot of us can't wait to see what you'll do next.
Thank you, my lady. I do hope that my skill and demonstration this term was not a one-time thing, and I can hopefully bring that luck to the next event, which hopefully will be my sister's next name day.
That's right. She takes a step closer to you.
Reactions are so great. Sorry, continue.
Yes. She takes a step closer to you, shortening the distance by quite a margin. There is very little between you now.
Yeah.
As she goes, yes, I am looking forward to it. As I know our fathers are quite close, I cannot wait. As in, it is your 16th, is it not?
It is, yes. You will, of course, come, right?
Oh, I mean, well, if you ask me, how could I say no? But yes, you'll be, well, I'm sure by your father's standards, you'll be a man grown, but I can't see it. How you could be any more of a man than I'm seeing stand before me.
That is too kind as you are beautiful.
And then the music started to play and be like,
yes.
Oh, how silly of me. Here I talking in the dance, on the dance floor. I've taken up your time. I do apologize.
Oh, not of course. Any time you spent is none wasted whatsoever. Forgive my rudeness. Would you like to dance with me?
He goes, well, if only to continue our conversation. And she takes your hand.
Yes.
And absolutely begin to dance with Ashela.
My poor child. I pray for you.
Indeed. Mariella, as
Hi.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mari. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. As
I gave you all the warning I could. Yes.
I can't resist being charming. It's a weakness of mine.
I know. Anyways, yes. Hi.
Of course, we kind of same time, the dance ended for you. Raymond is like, oh, you dance just so elegantly, and I think I was perhaps wondering, and goes then suddenly you hear Raymond, and a hand comes down on his shoulder, and he literally almost looks like he jumps when it happens, and you see Walton, and he goes, I was looking for you. Was it nope, not that. No, Gayla Chester had your name on her lips. I think she wanted to speak to you about something. And he goes, well, that makes sense. Gayla, I know Gayla. She's very much well, you should probably do that then. And he's like, oh yes, right. And kind of scurries off. Walter kind of just turns to look at you and goes, sorry about that, but your face just sort of changed to several expressions while dancing with him, and none of them seemed very comfortable.
Let's just say that conversation was exceedingly stilted despite my best efforts.
Yes, well, Raymond is an avid and, from what I heard, a very dedicated member of his house. He's very dedicated to the apiaries, almost exclusively.
It did not seem to be able to talk about himself at all. It kept cycling back to myself, which just felt very awkward.
Well, it is normal for the worker bee to admire the queen.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
And then he kind of goes, that is right?
I believe it is.
I don't know that much about bees.
I'm not that familiar with the workings inside of an apiary, but I believe that would be correct.
How are you?
Better now.
You look it.
I don't think I'm gonna need the services of an empty poppy field when I return home. I hope.
Well, that is an improvement.
Indeed. And you?
Well enough.
So I see that you could not have aided me in sending my brother into the dirt.
I tried. But it is if that, like, it is if your brother clamped himself on that horse. I hit him full bore. I made his head hit his horse's ass several times.
He has a very unique relationship with Onyx. Yes, he does not become unglued very easily.
I told him it was because he was lower to the ground.
Who knows? Maybe you will find more luck on his own name day, and that would be a true gift.
I mean, if I'm still invited after that embarrassing defeat, I would very
think
glad, almost privileged, to steal the thunder that he has gathered around himself.
Who knows? Maybe he might find some hubris in succeeding where he has already.
I'm sorry I haven't been around. Not that I think you were looking for me or anything, but I have not made myself available, which is rude.
Well, from what you were gracious enough to share with me back a few days ago, I understand that there might be things that need your attention.
Unfortunately. But tonight is for tonight, and that is all tonight is for.
Indeed. Although I do remember the last time that we both had a party, you and my brother, and like start kind of like looking around, couldn't seem to help but having drinking matches. Like kind of like looking out towards the
Yeah, and then you see
Ooh. Like there's a very visible reaction that Walton obviously catches. It's like,
yeah, he goes, oh, what? Oh. See, he goes, oh. Your brother will probably be fine.
one hopes. How familiar are you with that entity?
He stifles. He stifles and is like, not well enough directly, but I know a person or two who's had direct contact.
Would they possibly be able to pry her off of my brother?
I think it is more likely that if they tried, they would not live to see the morning.
Oh, I would not wish that on many.
Like, he is the thing. I think your brother is popular right now.
Indeed.
I mean, your house has won so much. I mean, after all, what he's done.
But you've met Henrik.
Of course, yes, I do know Henrik.
Yes.
I think we are. I think I can confidently say that we're friends.
You know he can't help but be charming.
It is in his nature.
Yes. You realize that's like handing Ashela a knife.
I think your brother will be fine tonight.
I need distraction. It like looks away and like
Yeah.
I can't watch that. I can't watch that.
It
Nope.
goes, well, we can, I think we could either, I think perhaps get a drink, or, and the music starts off, I could do my best to distract you a different way. And puts his hand out.
Please? And
He will take you up in his quite tall arms and begin to dance. And he definitely keeps himself perhaps interposed between of the banshee that haunts your nightmares and your brother dancing.
the great evil.
The great
evil.
Entity.
I will say, as we do see Tiedrick and Vivian, you see Mariella and Walton dancing, which you've seen them dance before.
Mm-hmm.
But you also then see who Henrik is now dancing with, which is Ashela Ashford.
I'm like tapping Tiedrick's arm. Do you see?
I do
I do.
probably ask if Walton can somehow find a way for us to end near Scarlet. So then, like,
I clasp my wife's hand to my arm so she'll stop tapping.
yeah, it's like I think kind of as the dance tries to generally like.
He just is like, I will attempt to find her as we dance.
Thank you.
Walton, as last time, is a phenomenal dancer. As of course is your brother. I'm
not dancing with him.
I would say, Vivian, Tiedrick, what is your reaction?
For me, okay.
I think it's like I said, just like.
Yes, darling, I see it.
Yeah, it's just trying to dab my eyes because a lady never just wipes away makeup and all. I'm so incredibly proud of all of you.
I'll give her hand a squeeze. Just a slight one.
Plus, can you imagine the tax benefits we get if that marriage were to go through?
Which one?
I mean, either.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, I mean, mostly, the Ashfords. I think it would literally take the vulture dying for us to get a tax benefit from him.
That is true.
Upon
You'll be fine. We just won't get any benefits.
More than he likes his money.
upon Harold Dulver's death, everybody who attends his funeral gets one coupon for $5 off.
For the lunch after the funeral.
Yeah.
You're allowed access to
Purchase.
these front shelves
Yes,
within the
$5
vault.
But as it was stated in his will, he will not validate parking.
No.
God damn it.
And if your
$5
car
off
is
of a
towed, that is
$5,000
your own
purchase.
fault.
Yeah.
Anyway.
$5 off of minimum 500 dragon purchase.
Yeah, just watching my children enjoy themselves for I feel like the first time since we got in this fucking city. It's just
It is a lovely sight.
Of course, Clarissa and Thorsten, you're there watching this as well.
For a long time I was very worried I could not. I have so much time with Henrik left, and not as much with Mariella. And I was worried that I couldn't trust him. But every day the two of you came to visit me. Oh goodness, I'm making a fool of myself.
Clary holds out a handkerchief.
Thank you.
On command.
No, you are not, my dear. You mean the world to us. You mean the world to me.
Please, Dietrich, I don't matter. They do.
Yes, they do. But who am I without you?
Well, hopefully you'd still be their father and their lord.
Yes, but it would be like chopping off my own leg. There'd always be something missing.
You always know to say the truly most romantic things, don't you? No, I...
Does easily feel like heat.
Okay. Can I be excused? Pardon me.
Oh, before you go, Clarissa, can you... Is Iris Danette here?
Yes,
Can you bring her to me?
I can.
Good.
It will be done.
Okie dokie.
I still have a bit of a grit in my mouth when I hear Danette.
Sure. Sure.
Unconscious, yeah.
Not as bad as if I heard Lucas.
Fair. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll say we'll go to that. I will say briefly though, as the music begins to start, Naimora, I think Etten kind of goes, "Would you like to dance?" I feel like dancing right now. And I'd have to wait a whole nother dance to talk, I think up another gorgeous woman.
One dance.
One dance?
One dance. Who knows when you're going to see me in a dress again, so you might as well get the most of it.
Exactly. And yeah, he will take your hand and walk in. Yeah, all right. So Naimora's dancing too.
Now dancing.
I love it. Clarissa, you, of course, go towards Iris. Her blonde hair is being obscured by her most of her veil. She is standing and talking, but mostly she seems to be standing next to what is it? Sir Eden Ward, which is her master at arms. Very gruffer, older ginger man. Looks like he might have some northern in his blood, or maybe some Riverlands. But they're both just kind of standing there and to approach. And you notice that quicker than Eden, Iris's body language turns towards you.
Good evening, Lady Danette. I come with a request from my lady for a brief conversation. Don't believe it's anything of grave importance.
As she nods and she goes, Lady Asterwood, I hope the grand ball finds you well. It seems you are in, well, if not good spirits, good cups at least.
You have a great point.
I will come right away. And you see Sir Eden is kind of puts a hand on her arm and looks at her, and she just looks at him and nods and touches his hand, and will walk with you to to Vivian.
Perfect. Yeah, I will kind of introduce her.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Danette, my lady Vivian, and I will turn and stand behind Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, if there's not a chair available, I would like to motion for a chair to be brought up so Iris can sit.
Okay. Yep. It is done.
Mm-hmm.
She gladly sits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't want to, given what I've found out about, I don't want to touch her, but I definitely want to place my hand on the arm of her chair.
Mm-hmm.
I know the loss you feel, and know that condolences are accepted with practiced gratitude, but they open wounds that have not yet closed over. So instead, I offer an apology to you for what I thought you were. I cannot and also I offer friendship. Because I know, well, I cannot imagine what you have been through. I know this loss has changed you. And you are different. And I wish to return something to you. And from the folds of my gown, I want to pull out the Danette Pendant that I found.
Oh. Yeah. She looks at it, and as you hand it, she slowly, like almost trembly, takes it and puts it into her hands and kind of like very lovingly strokes it. It was my mother's. Lady Weirlight, you are right. I don't believe you can imagine what I've been through. And I don't really want or need apologies of imagined slights. But I will gladly take friendship and an understanding that moving forward that I am different and that the Iris Danette that is your friend is the one you've met here this night. And that this night forward is who you were friends with.
I think I can manage at least that.
Well, if you can gain at least that, then I think I will thank you very much for returning this to me. And she just kind of like holds it for a bit. Teacher get.
You're muted, Jesse.
Jesse.
I am so sorry. She's holding it.
Yeah.
Will lean forward a bit and talk softly. I know that our families have not been on the best of terms. And by what the Lucases did, I now see that maybe we should be on better terms. So I am here to apologize for the injustice that I have done to your family.
She raises and looks up at you, Tedric. And she goes, and she says, I believe the only real injustices you've done to my family are those perceived by my father. And then she kind of like lifts her veil up to look at you fully. He goes, but I understand the meaning. And I agree and thank you for it. I do not represent my house, but I am currently its sole heir. Unless someone can find my cousin, which I hope they can't. I appreciate that you said that to me. But perhaps it would be more, and I would not dream of informing you of what to do, my lord, but
He gives a slight smile at that.
yeah, like, but I think before it is too late, perhaps there should be a conversation between my father and you.
I fully agree.
She nods. She will move her veil back down.
I will reach out and place my hand on hers.
Mhm.
Be like, be well.
Yeah, you feel her go like a little stiff, then soften. Thank you. And then she looks at you, Vivian. Thank you. And as she stands, Clarissa, with your keen awareness, you see ever so briefly Iris look at you and mouth, "Thank you." And then she will say, "Maester Thorsten." And
He's also he is also there.
Milk of the poppy?
As soon as she leaves, Clary leans down to Vivian's ear and she says, "I will get right on finding that cousin," and turns and walks away.
Well, I will say that's a joke. Her cousin went missing during the rebellion.
Oh, I see.
It is highly believed he is dead. He was in a battle, and that battle didn't go so well, and he was never found, which means he's probably got his head cut off or something.
Clarissa wants no loose ends.
It's not my favorite. Loose ends aren't my favorite.
Loose ends I mean, you can absolutely look into it because that will be hilarious. All right, fantastic.
Let's find his death receipt.
Receipts.
Receipts. Excellent.
Funeral parchments, yes.
So something happens.
I die
Fire.
instantly.
I knew it was going way too well.
Mariella and Naimora, you are the ones who see it first.
Oh,
Okay.
It's something that anyone who knows anything is suddenly about the situation is a little shocked. Henrik, someone stops you dancing.
Mid dance?
Mid-dance.
Oh.
Girl, tough.
And you see Scarlet Primaris.
I love her so much.
Such a boss. Oh.
And
So
she goes, she immediately goes, "Oh, pardon me, Lady Ashford. It is quite urgent. I believe your mother wanted you. Do not worry, I will keep Lord Weirlight entertained until you returned." And then just without letting her speak, just take you, Henrik, and just dances away. And Ashela literally looks, she's just like smiling, like, and just kind of left there blinking.
I shake Kedrick, like, now something like, look!
I probably while dancing with Walton, it's like I kind of tap him with my fingers. It's like, "Oh my god, did you see it? Did you see it?"
He's like, "I saw it. I saw it." Yeah. So Henrik, Scarlet just yoinks you out from Ashela. And she goes, and as she's dancing with you, she goes, "I hope you didn't find that too rude, but you looked very uncomfortable."
I think I'm like a bit stunned, especially like right after she first pulled me out. Like,
Oh my god.
Henrik in the presence of strong women, he doesn't really know what to do. He sort of goes into default mode. Oh, brain resets. Well, I'm glad my lady has such keen eyes to notice that. That was very risky, though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. The Ashfords are very influential in the Reach. But where Ashela is quite feared, I have heard in the circles, she is not more feared than my mother.
I've heard such things as well, and
Also, I will admit I did notice because I had been maybe watching you a bit.
I am very flattered. And even though I'm sure a striking, strong woman such as yourself is something to fear from Ashela, I would feel much safer for your sake if you would stay by my side for most of the evening.
She goes,
You wish, Magic.
"Oh, you are charming."
Yes.
Like, she just like nods as if
I
she's like,
warned
"Oh, that
her."
was a good line, bro."
I
Yeah.
warned her.
Yeah.
Respectively, I warned both of them
She
multiple
only
times.
says like, your sister warned me about how charming you are, but that was poetic.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you approve.
Like, I do. I think you'll do quite nice. He goes, I also was shocked that dancing with Ashela that close, you managed to keep your smile in just that very... I mean, I would say charming again, but I've said it too many times. Let's think of another word.
I'll admit it was a bit hard, and I'm surprised getting next to her as she came close that I didn't burst into flame immediately as well.
She like puts her head against your chest and like puts it as if she looks embarrassed, but she's like, it's just like, like Lord Weirlight, we are in public. She's just.
I'll appreciate if you keep that between us, though.
Oh no, yes, no, they'd have to torture me. I was like, I was like thinking if I were to stay by your side, if perhaps the next few dances could be mine. I seen you had so much attention, but if you don't mind, I wouldn't.
It has been nice receiving so much attention, I won't lie. However, there are certain people who I think are well worth and much more of these dances. And you are one of them. I would
Charming
be honored
and
to dance with you.
charming and sensible. Like, well, I simply must spend the night, more of the night with you to see what you will say next. And you dance on. Ashela, for the first time in her life, just like going off to the side. There is a utter like swarm of girls that surround Ashela, immediately being like, "Oh, how could she? Oh my god, that bitch! Like, what a whore!" Like,
I think we both like point him out and start like giggling to each other. It's like quite seething. You did a number on her.
No.
Very impressed.
Yeah, oh man, if I see any of that, it's like we might want to get Layden. We might want to go over there, like with sibling shits.
Sibling shield, go. All right.
Walton's like, listen, I've known Scarlet since she was very young. If there were any forces again in this world that could combat Ashela, it is her. And I would say that among them would be you as well.
I have recently come into new information about Ashela that probably should be known to her.
Well, then it should be known, but it looks like Ashela is mitigated because I actually think her mother actually does want to speak to her.
I'm too short to probably see over the people. It's like,
There is a moment where he, in the spin, he just quickly lifts you.
Love Walker.
which probably like gets minor attention. It's like, oh, sudden body going up in the crowd.
Some people see that and go, ho-ho, and then they begin doing the same thing.
Starts a trend
Yeah,
of
no,
love.
and like hands immediately go to his shoulder because it's unexpected. It's like, oh my
Yep.
god.
Yep. And you do see Ashela's mother like gesturing. Her mother looks a little drunk. And Clarissa, you of course have noticed the ripple effect, but something does hit your mind. You did notice Scarlet talking to Lady Ashford earlier. Mm-hmm. It seems to be a thing. Yeah. So obviously, so adorable. Vivian Teedrick, you're apparently freaking out. Daimara, what has been
Oh,
your
I cannot.
reaction? Reaction to that?
Because you're dancing.
My
I
reaction-
mean, Mariella has told you about Ashela, and you've
Mhm.
seen the reactions, right?
My reaction is that I tell Sir Hogg is that there's something dramatic going on over there. And then can you turn me just so that I can keep an eye on it?
Of course.
Thank you. And that's I'm gonna keep an eye on Ashela to make sure that she's like specifically that she doesn't go near anything that either Mariella or Henrik eat or drink.
Mhm.
Good
Mhm.
instincts.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it is hard. Unfortunately, you cannot see Ashela anymore, as she has been swallowed by the horde that is her.
Her hive?
Exactly, her hive of all girls, all talking about like goddamn,
Westerland girls. Huh?
Exactly, Westerland whores dangling
Damn.
as easily as their underpants from their legs and.
I'm gonna
Oh,
keep an eye on the cocoon of girls too, to
Eat
see
it.
who kills off
They
where.
move as a unit, yeah.
Mhm.
My general theory
Absolutely
is
horrifying.
forewarned is forearmed. It's like, I gotta tell fucking Scarlet about this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a question too.
Yeah.
Are the Frostmoors here?
They are.
Okay. Keep is hot sad dad here?
Is Dad here?
How would I know anything
Sorry,
about
I'm
hot
like-
dad?
I will
Thought,
say,
sad dad.
Of the people that would be care to understand and notice, which would mainly be Clarissa, yes.
Sad
Lord
Dad.
Kadrock is in fact here.
You didn't talk about his kids again.
Wearing his finest clothes, still with the fur.
It's not
That of
even
course
cold here.
that of course hasn't changed. And he's drinking and just being like
Mhm.
boots with the fur, perhaps. Yes.
Nice.
Lord
Apple bottom
Sad Dad,
jeans everywhere.
Lord Shadrock
Lord
is-
Sad Dad.
Lord
Yes.
Sad Dad is in fact here. There is also, I think Clarissa would notice, it's just because we're bringing it up. There is a in like a tight, very male, like padded doublet with a leather mantle. There is a woman next to him. She looks many years his junior, like very like probably a little younger than you, Clarissa. Hard to tell though. The sides of her head are fully shaved. Not like Naimora, where it's like sort of like a teased cut. Like it's just there is no hair there.
Mhm.
And her hair is kind of put up and back, almost like a horse's mane. And there is like a rough like ponytail. You wouldn't even call it a ponytail. It's much, the hair looks too coarse to be that. But she's wearing like, and it's just black with like brown leathers. There is also like this pale blotching to her skin, as if perhaps she wore some kind of makeup that was removed. You're not entirely sure what's going on there. But her arms are very tightly crossed, and her hips are very askant. There is a lot of attitude there. She looks positively like brimming. And she's just like glaring, not at people, but just possibly at the room. And you see her like say something to her, I think her father, I think, well, who you essentially
Assume, yeah.
There is a resemblance. She looks short, but then you actually realize as people walk by her, she's actually quite tall. It's just compared to her father, Lord Shadrock, he is as a mountain of a man. Like, yeah, but you do see that, and he's just looking on.
Yes.
Yes. So that is there.
Stop! You're killing me.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
There's so many things to do.
So many things. So, the dancing goes on. People talk. People move. As that happens, it goes on for a little while. An announcement is made for the guests of honor to be called to the stage.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yep. So,
Mhm.
So Henrik, Namora, you are called to the stage.
Arr.
Yes. Before I leave, I do kiss Scarlett's hand, like right back.
Yeah, and she's kind of smiling, and then you take and kiss her hand, and she's like, "Well, I will be waiting." But as Henrik turns around, I will say, because Marielle is watching, she kind of like turns, and her face does go like a little red. And
I would love like to
Mhm.
meander my way up there.
Yeah. No, that's fine. You make your way. But Henrik, as you walk by, Layden kind of sets into stride next to you as he's going up there as well. And he goes, "I see you and my sister have been getting to know each other."
Well, your sister is a very interesting and charming person.
She is. I have been told that. And then he just like turns and looks at you, and there is it's very unreadable, his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there is like a weird like up and down look, but it's not like who the fuck are you? It's almost like you're not sure really, and just like I will, as they say, congratulations again on your performance. You did very well.
As well. Thank you.
Thank you. And you go up.
I slap Ettenhog on the back just in case he's gotten any ideas about what kind of relationship we have.
He's not.
Nice.
And thanks for the dance, buddy. Bye.
Yeah. He just goes, I think, thanks again. And he just like takes a go. No, he doesn't seem like you've awoken him out of a stupor.
Okay, good.
It looks like he was wanting to dance with you because you're his friend.
Aww. You know what? I didn't expect myself becoming friends with him, but
there you go.
Stuff changes.
So many people are lined up and on the stage, and King Robert Baratheon goes, "Hey, how about a round of applause and a hail of honor to our honorable combatants of the joust?" And people cheer and whoa.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Your combat surely has honored the birth of my daughter. Or is it that the birth of my daughter has honored all of you? at least on like all of your hangovers in the morning. Just people
Jesus
laugh.
Christ. Oh god. All right.
Laugh
Well, he's in a
immediately. It's like,
he's in a good mood. I guess that's a good thing.
He seems pretty drunk. The king definitely seems pretty drunk, even though it's still pretty early in the evening.
Yeah.
Um,
Pre-gaming pretty hard.
and yeah, he begins to present awards to those who have done well and shown honoring glory to their house. Henrik and Naimora, he gives both of you a purse of 5,000 dragons.
I'm shocked. Henrik isn't as shocked. He's so excited. I think the whole thing. Very.
Yeah, no one gives out that. That's maybe the prize of any other tournament, but you're like, oh, you got 5th place, here you go. A literal fortune. Like,
Ooh.
Suddenly, why the kingdom's going to be bankrupt in a couple of years makes
Makes a
sense.
little more sense.
Yep, you do see Barristan Selmy, for winning the tournament. He is given a golden blade, a rare horse. Apparently, he makes a joke like, bred from the finest horses that survived the Targaryen culling. Basically, these were horses reared for the royal Targaryen family, which, some people might say is poor taste, but, no one would say
Not
it.
Robert Baratheon.
Exactly.
Not to his face.
Exactly. Yep. And if they did, he'd headbutt them. And he is also, of course, given a purse of 50,000 gold dragons.
Oh.
And he just goes, I think, I dedicate this coin to the kingdom and to the king's guard. Basically meaning Barristan Selmy is obviously going to dedicate that to his to his funding for the king's guard.
Basically just circled back into the kingdom's pocket, which God knows they need it.
But yeah, essentially. Which, yeah, Jamie, for getting second, got a purse of 20,000.
He needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Does he just like? He's
Really
just like,
did.
no.
He's just like, well, he takes it obviously, but he's just like,
Thank you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, everyone takes it with purses. A lot of people who maybe haven't been to many royal gatherings are like, what the fuck? And they're like, well, he is the king after all.
Internally, I am what the fuck.
For those interested, if the gold dragon goes by weight and it's pure gold, this would be about $625,000.
No.
I cannot.
Yeah, that's about right. So
Then we have been handed in a cloth sack in front of 50,000 people.
yeah, I mean, yep, that's your winning. Which Henrik, you're like, oh wow, like what is the sum to earn myself? And then Namor is like,
This is really great. Remora, isn't this is a great tourney, right?
I don't know what to do with this. Henrik, Henrik, I don't know what to do with this. You have to take this from me. I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
Remora, it's okay. Breathe.
I'm going to be knifed in the street.
Fine.
Layden's like, you're not going to be knifed in the street. Like, there's
Quickly
way
hand
too
it over
many
to Mariella, like all the other
There's way-
horses.
There's way too. I'll take it. There's way too many armored people coming out of here. Besides, from what I understand, the king has done us all a favor and put the gold cloaks to suppressing and wardening off Flea Bottom tonight.
Oh, I see.
I'm sure we should
like,
his head should think like, oh, good.
He has formed several brute squads to clear the street.
So It's
So
been
just a bunch of
it's-
riot police are going into the slums of the city and basically beating everyone
it's
up.
turned into a walled ghetto. Okay.
Great.
Just for the night. As we all stare off, thinking. But yeah, you are all honored in your own way. It is therefore at this point, Henrik, as you step off the stage, Lord Tiger Weil approaches you and goes, "If you are still game, my friend, it is time."
Do the shoulder touch, like, of course. Let's go.
Mhm.
Let's restore your family's honor. Do right by your name.
Mm-hmm. Memora, you hear him say that, and you're like, "What?"
Let's go.
Excuse me, my lord.
What?
What?
Oh, no more. Hello.
Yeah. I know the dress. I know the dress is weird, but
It is.
what?
You look great in it, but yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But, I kind of like awkwardly like, oh, how should I address you now? Kind of like do those back and forth eyes. But
Doesn't know
So,
yet. I don't think.
Brian?
Unless
I don't think anyone has.
yeah.
But
I don't. I
Sir
don't
Brian.
think. Yeah.
Oh, you have it. I was like, he was at you were saying at the inn, saying one.
I
apparently
I remember you. You came and helped us with the Fox Night.
you did.
Yes, it was my honor, and I'm sorry I could not do more.
You did plenty. You're a fine fighter.
Thank you. I hope to upkeep that tonight.
Do I
Yeah.
see this happening?
And just nodding. I was like, yeah,
I do.
Yeah, Memora looks concerned.
Hmm.
Shocking. Do I see Claude?
Oh, fuck yeah, you see Claude.
I'm gonna start making my way over to Claude.
All right, yeah. Yeah. So, once again, he's like, well, if you are not needed for anything else, unfortunately, Lord Henrik and I do have some business.
Right.
Precisely what business is that?
He will be my
Exactly.
second in a duel.
A duel against who?
The man who killed my father.
Okay. But who?
Specifically who?
The name
Specifically
would be,
who?
the name would be good.
Yes, hold on. I have forgotten his name because I am the worst.
Gennady Shanin.
It's been 2 weeks,
Sir
Anthony.
Gennady Shanin, yes.
Yeah. It's like,
I go Sir Gennady Shanin.
That would be that that man who was boasting about his sword that he and in the inn
Yes.
common room, yes?
Yes.
it's his
Hen-
family's sword.
Mm.
I gestured.
So, all of a sudden, a lot of things are making sense. My Lord Henrik, are you prepared, do you think, to fight against the
Well, I'm his second, but
yes,
I
but
am, should it come to that, yes.
okay. And you know how Dornishmen fight. I've taught you enough.
Wow. What?
Okay.
I will say that not all Dornishmen fight with that. Kind of puffing his own chest out.
And good for you. But I was poison, but I was talking more about style
Mhm.
for the most part. But you should poison as a consideration. You should tell Thorsten. You should ask him to come with you.
Well, it's happening right here, right over 10 feet over there.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Yes.
Everyone will probably see it, so.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
You should still go tell Thorsten so that he can get himself ready.
Could you? I don't want to
Well, I
on
need you
either
to
side.
negotiate
Yes.
my second, so I need you to negotiate the terms.
Right, so I need to be there. I was just more
You could-
talking.
Maybe
I
you could
was talking to Maimora. I was like, yeah, could you get, I guess, Thorsten right? I'm sure everything will be fine, but right, precaution, we should be safe.
Oh, you're gonna
Ready.
put me in the middle of everything all over again. All right, fine.
Thorsten, you'll be fine.
So you two will walk that way. Clarissa, you approach Claude, who's drinking and talking with all of his friends.
Perfect. Yeah, I like.
And
get
she
close-
said it was a unicorn, and they all laugh.
She has a moment where she has to compose herself. And then she says, Claude, hi.
All of them turn and look at to you as because you addressed him as just Claude,
Mhm.
and they're all like, "Who the fuck is this?" And he goes, honored cousin," and they all seem to calm down immediately. Like, how are you?
Fine, we need to speak.
Very well. Like, my cousin needs to speak with me. Like, who knows when we'll see each other again in these tumultuous times. And they all raise their glasses, and he walks away with you. And he just looks at you.
I'm not sure what you know about Brian Tilson, but whatever it is, it's happening right now. And she points over to where Henrik is with him.
Yes. Yes, apparently there might be a duel. And he just kind of like swirls his glass and like takes a drink and just that direction.
She
So-
like twitches.
So calm.
Did you just a duel?
Yes.
Who are they dueling?
Sir Gennady Shanin, well, a cutthroat warrior from mountain regions of Dorne. Quite treacherous.
The Valerian steel, yes.
Yeah. Definitely not of House
Yeah,
Shanin, because
yeah.
House Shanin is a nowhere treacherous black tar pit. So he obviously got it ill-gained of somewhere, and Sir Brian spoke far too well and paid too highly for his room to have been a hedge knight, so I suspected there was something going on. Takes another sip. And he also came wearing a finery and a sword, so I assumed, duel. It looks like Henrik is involved.
Great, isn't it? Henrik is usually involved in everything, but
It's good. He's
Would
great
you
with
like-
eyes.
would you like to watch the spectacle with me? I have a feeling it'll be our last pleasant moment together before we leave King's Landing.
I would be happy to. And he clinks.
Yep.
And I think you both drink the exact same amount from the glass. Small, like, oh, there's the family stimulator. There was the
For a
exact
second, I
same.
forgot you guys were related, but then there it was.
I imagine the very subtle message in the back. Mariella doesn't give me this shit.
It's true.
Yeah.
She's the easy crowd. We all know that.
Yep.
I'm gonna run and tell the Weirlights.
Tell that.
Run and tell that.
I'm gonna go tell mom
Hairspray
and dad.
montage.
As we're
And-
fighting.
And by virtue, Thorsten, because he's right there.
Mhm.
I'm just gushing over at how handsome Tiedrick looks, and just, ugh, what a great night this is.
Mm.
Nothing could possibly ruin this.
Or as you come out, you do see that Vivian and Tiedrick are maybe a little drunk.
It's so
Hmm,
great.
I'm.
Gosh.
It's Thorsten
love-
has not been drinking, obviously. Yeah.
I've had a little bit, but I'm watching over
He's
Vivian.
probably the soberest maester here.
Alright.
Yes.
Not a high bar.
Cody.
I'm probably more drunk than Vivian because she's having me
Absolutely.
drink them and tell her what they taste like.
hmm
I'm getting drunk for my wife. Thank you very much.
True solidarity.
Yeah.
Hey, Thorsten, Maester Thorsten.
Yes,
Can you come over this way for me, please? I have a couple of questions for you. Just
Of
about.
course.
It's about my healing, my continued healing. Yes, excellent.
that
Just a
lady?
minute, please.
That's That's Nymora, Tedric. You know her.
She's in a dress.
She's
I
just
know.
she is just wearing a dress. You know.
Vivian must be so proud.
I love it.
Somebody put something in my drinks.
No, dear, you've just had a bit too many. Maybe we just put this one down.
I steal Thorsten away.
You do.
I'm just like, since Henrik is going to be in a duel, you have to come over and help me.
What?
Just, just come this way. He's being someone's second. So hopefully
Oh.
nothing happens. But
Okay. I follow and continue to.
All right. So Henrik, you kind of know what you're supposed to do here. You and Tiger have talked about it for a bit. You guys did that teenage guy thing when you're planning to do something. All right, cool. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna.
And that's when nothing goes according to plan.
And then you'll beat him and you'll work for it'll be awesome, man.
It'll be so cool. It'll be so awesome.
Oh, everyone's gonna love it. Yeah. Yes.
And then the kid and the girls want to dance with us.
So great.
God.
No.
Two teenage idiots.
So yeah, you know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to essentially approach Sir Gennady on
Which I
behalf.
did meet face to face. Yeah, I have the song.
A little different from that, but yeah, essentially. So to kind of move this forward, essentially, you are so you're basically supposed to approach Sir Gennady and say, you have been challenged. I am the second now. You've been challenged to a duel by my comrade, and you're not. This is not normally how it's done, but you're supposed to just say who it is. But Tiger wants some drama.
I fully. I think
like this moment
we
for a
like
long time.
no. We brainstormed this and so then I introduced you. He's like, no, Henrik. It'd be just a mad picture right now. Just to reveal like me walking out. It's like and that's who you're fighting. It's like, oh, that'd be a good idea.
Good. You have to say Lord Tiger Weil.
We'll do that. Okay.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so good, man. So good.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Essentially.
So Henrik, you approach Sir Gennady, who is currently kind of drinking with some of his comrades, and he has like a Dornish woman on his knee. And what do you say?
He's not a lord, is he? He's just like a knight or a
He's
servant?
a knight. He's just a knight.
Stand up to my full 5'9" height. Very proud of that inch that I got a couple months ago. And I think I slam my hand down on the table that he's drinking at.
Yeah, he's like shocked, and they all turn to look at you.
Sir Gennady, you have been challenged by a friend of by a fellow knight and lord to restore his family's honor.
All right, tell me, Reachling, who am I to fight? And
No, yeah.
steps up, and you're supposed to say his name.
Oh yes, I do say his name. Happens, yeah. When he steps, I know. Thank you. When he steps up, I was like, Lord Tiger Wild.
Yeah, his eyes go a little wide and goes, of course. And he kind of stands up, and like a lot of his other friends stand up and begin kind of ignoring that you don't exist to them anymore, and just kind of begins to walk forward to Brian, who's standing there, quite thinking. But before he gets 2 steps closer, he goes, "That is right, Sir Gennady. I, Tiger Wild, challenge you to a duel of honor." And a lot of people are waiting to turn and back away, and Sir Gennady is like, "God damn it."
That's right, in public. We rehearsed
The
this.
Dornish fighting again? What's happening?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "What's
I'm
happening?"
not quite sure myself. But there seems to be something going on over there. Is that Henrik?
What?
Yeah. He goes, "Very well, Lord Weil. I accept. I think it will be so much better to have the blood of 3 generations on my blade.
Ooh.
A lot of you are kind of like you're basically all just the passerby and watcherbys of like the climax of someone else's movie right now. We're all like,
That was a good line.
For what's happening, but this seems fun.
This is so exciting.
I don't know what happened, but that was cool. All right, how this goes.
Because I'm like trying to get a better view from my seat.
Yeah, so he chooses his own second. Henrik, you get basically like your long blade, which you sort of like hit off to the side.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like I would have hit something, like, obviously not, like...
You get your long blade, you tie it to your belt, just in case. You speak with his second, and of course you're supposed to be like, all right, are we sure we're dueling? And I think he's just like, please hesitate a little longer when retrieving his body. Some of us wish to spit upon it, and just kind of turn away from him.
I am so close to just spitting on him right now, but I don't.
All right.
Nasty piece of work.
Mm-hmm. So, a duel has been stated. Some people are like, "Oh, the donors are killing each other, phenomenal," and just like. The king, everyone's just allowing this because they're like, oh hell yeah, like, well, oh crap, they got a donut and each other. What a great feast!
Oh, Robert has thought of everything. This is truly a marvelous event. Oh.
Quick, where's the popcorn? It must be somewhere.
Oh my
So,
god.
I need my diamond water.
The two sides stand off. You stand ready with your blade.
I'm there next to him.
His stands with him. Tiger pulls out his own long blade and like gestures. So Gennady, of course, pulls out Scorpion, the black-bladed Valyrian steel longsword, and like salutes with it. And then the two men begin dueling. And it is both men seem very skilled. There are slashes and sparks that go off. Many people go, ah. While it does seem so Gennady has an advantage in strength and reach, Sir Tiger very quickly seems to be overcoming that with seemingly just skill and perhaps disciplined swordplay. As while many of Sir Gennady's strikes seem serious, there is a sort of focus to Tiger. You see, I will say, Clarissa, in between your like 7th glass of wine, and you're like, this night.
Perfect. Yes.
And you do see like Iris, like watching, but then just like. Very subtly, just like wringing, like some kind of like handkerchief she has, like she's watching, like, but just like very concerned.
Yeah, I think Clary like raises her glass and like nods at her and then just downs it and puts it down.
Henrik, you're watching keenly, and of course, and it's very much like the end of, you're watching the end of someone else's story right now. So a lot of you, they start trading black lines before each other. If we had seen the movie from the beginning, all of these lines would have been
really good.
But if you have any context.
What's going on?
I think like the one thing that I would have added, like before, like he went to 5, just would have like in a the hype man sort of mode as Sir Kelson pulled out his sword, the Scorpion. I'll go over to Tiger's like, that sword is meant to be yours, and it will be by the end of this. And I was like, all right, you got this.
Yeah, he seems very hyped up by that. And there comes to this point where Brian smacks the sword just a bit out of the way and gets first blood. Tiger gets first blood on Gennady. It cuts his arm, and then very quickly gets a cut across its cheek.
Yes.
And he starts going into this, like, it sounds very rehearsed, but just like, I have to, I have to cut you, I have to bleed you. As much of the blood I was drenched in when I crawled out of that burning building that day. Everyone's like, wow, this is really dramatic.
Oh my god.
You have no, what the fuck is he talking about? There's a burning building. And it looks like Gennady is starting to lose. And it's starting to become apparent, especially to Mora, like, oh shit, that kid, I think, is going to win.
Yeah. I do really think that he intends to kill that man.
Yes.
Full circle.
I will, but then, Henrik, you notice, Gennady's second has slowly pulled his, looks like I think a hidden blade, and as Brian's back is starting to him, it looks like he's about to lunge. What do you
Tackle
do?
him.
You tackle him?
We just full on like just run, force tackle him.
All right. Do you want to tackle him, or do you want to attack him with your sword?
Oh gosh, I do have my sword out.
You do. You have the right. This is your job as the second, is to make sure there's no funny business.
I don't want to. The sword thing's his show. I don't want to take away from that. You know, I think I'll just tackle him for now.
Okay, I will say the man has a knife.
Oh wait. Oh, I thought. Oh gosh. Okay. How? A full dagger and everything.
Yeah, it looks curved and Dornishy.
Ooh, yeah, poison.
Like,
okay.
It might be covered in poison.
Good. Fair point.
If this was an anime, we'd see a single drop come off the end of it.
Yes. That's like green. Yep. Okay. All right. Yes. I just pull out my sword and just. I'm not trying to kill him, but definitely trying to like knock it out of his hand. If I cut off his hand, it's fine. Sort of thing.
I will say it will be a lot more difficult to try and hit the blade out of his hand than just to stab this man.
If I can cut off his hand, I'd be okay with it. But if I just stab him, it's also fine.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to just go. I'm saying you have by the rights of the duel. You can. That guy's interfered. You can just murder him. That's fine. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Because if you want
are
to try to
allowed.
non-lethally do it, you have to minus 2 dice from your pool. Yeah, because non-lethal is very difficult in this game. That's why I say that.
Yeah.
Real easy to kill someone.
It is. Well, let's see how the first hit goes. You know, hopefully he won't die from it, so I think I'll be okay.
All right, cool.
I'm just gonna hit him.
All right, cool. Make a fighting test as you charge out.
Stab.
Stab.
Why Henrik stabbing the Dornishman? I don't understand.
Yeah, the guy pulls the knife, charge, people go, whoa! And then Henrik suddenly very quickly pops out like blade for
That's all part of this show, darling.
With 3 6s. So this man's not wearing any armor.
What do you do? 3 6?
You hit him. And you indeed crit him exactly. 3. Oh god. All right. The damage of your sword is 4. Plus 4 times 3.
Say goodbye to that hand.
Is no. Let's see here. That's 24, and he has no armor. So Henrik, you literally run up. Aim for his hand, but at the same time, the guy goes low, and you just cut his head off.
Jesus.
Because this man
You stupid.
Actually, we'll say we don't cut his head off, but you do essentially cut here and throughout the other side, severing his heart in twain, essentially.
Too much excitement.
Oh my fucking god.
Yep, just clack, and it falls to the ground. And the moment that happens, some crescendo happens with whatever speech Tiger was having.
Whatever the fuck was going on over there.
None of us know him.
None of us know.
Bash the sword. Kind of flip Scorpion out of the grasp of him. Tosses his sword to Gennady. Gennady fumbles and catches it, and then Tiger grabs his father's blades and then just cuts. And we just see part of Gennady's head just fall off and fall down.
Jesus.
Dead.
Jesus.
And immediately, you just people go, huh, and Clary, you see from Iris, you just hear, huh, and just like she just goes up to the side a little bit. He immediately gets onto his knees and puts the sword down and begins, again, saying something that would be very significant if we know who the hell he was.
I spit on the other guy's corpse.
Just
Yeah. When you spit on his corpse, you hear here. And everyone looks. Nobody knows what it is, but you do see standing there like drinking is Mace Tyrell.
That's what I thought it was.
yeah.
The other Dornishmen who look like we're about to jump in after you just with blinding speed just killed their friend. They were like, they've just now fully backed off.
Yeah, that's what I
As
thought.
you and Gennady fully stand, he turns with his black blade, stares at those men, and the men kind of just back off and just leave. They leave the whole event.
Oh,
Okay. And cowards. All right.
I go and just goes, well, recognized under the 7, and my king, the winner of this duel is that young man.
We need to
That
clean up
guy.
on aisle 3.
That one.
Lord Tyler Wild.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
That
Back into the cup.
We had to clean up the
Tiger goes up to you, Henrik, and grasps your arm, like, you know, and he goes, thank you. You saved my life.
You saved your own life. You did your family proud.
No, but that
That's
time when you
weird,
stabbed me with a poison dagger.
Ah, that too. Oh.
No, you have saved my life. I owe you a debt. And I will not forget it. Like, you have helped me regain my family's honor. Like, and he puts his father's blade back where it goes, and he just, like, looks at it as if he cannot even believe.
Aw.
You're like, wow, there's this. I wish I had
I wish I
understood
See,
the gravitas of
see, I'm a side character that came in part way, and even though I'm important, I know I missed like half the good stuff, like the training montage. Like, damn, I missed out.
Yep.
What a good movie.
He does then go. Some people like pat him on the back and congratulate him. He does go up to Iris and just bows to her, and she
Boring.
inclines her head. But then Tiger walks up and flips her veil up. I think, and takes her. It looks like he's about to kiss her, but then dips her and kisses her.
Oh,
Less boring. Nice job.
I start clapping.
Less boring.
What people do? They're like, no idea.
What is going on?
If we had seen this from the Danette side, we would probably know more.
yeah, who went on their story?
I guess I'm just over my seat. Isn't that Brandon boy? Oh, very, very well done. Very well done.
Yep. Henrik,
Disaster.
how do you feel
Henrik should do that.
seeing your new friend you've come to know very well now kissing the girl you once had very strong feelings for?
It's a little bittersweet because, like,
Mhm.
Tiger's like now I think a really good friend of Henrik's, and like he really admires him a lot too, and sees what he's been able to overcome. Partially, I came into the movie halfway, so I don't know the whole story, but I can feel it. And I don't know, the talk I just had with Iris beforehand, I think put things in perspective a bit more. And what I said before was right. Like, I want her just to be happy, and I know that's whatever feelings Henrik had, he still does care for her and everything. But you know, what they have, I think, what Henrik sees, like they actually do have a real connection and have love for each other. I think he's happy for that, but it is still a weird moment. I think.
I think so,
overall.
yeah.
Mhm.
Suddenly, next to you, you feel a presence, and you hear, like, well, like, when you were very brave, and you turn and you see
Wow.
Scarlet kind of looking up
Yeah.
at you,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and she's looking at those two and goes, like, they seem quite happy.
You
Seems
do.
like you just ended something.
Well,
She,
glad someone evolved a happy ending.
she smiles very softly at you. Goes, looks like you helped them get both. And she will very boldly, interlace her hand in yours.
I do take her hand as well.
Mhm.
Squeeze back.
And she'll just, hold your hand, kind of look at that, and then people kind of move on with the festivities. Don't look like that, like Clarissa.
Don't look at us like
There's
that.
propriety.
Calm it down, okay?
It's not like she showed ankle.
One kiss we had on screen was done away from everyone else.
That's
Okay,
what I
calm it
got,
down.
David.
Yep. So looks like Thorsten, you will not be needed.
I will go back over to Vivian.
I did sneak a sip of a little bit of wine while he was gone.
Don't worry, he saw that.
He sensed it.
Yep.
In the fall.
Just a sip.
Here's the thing. He knows you. He knows you.
Very true.
Her sips are half a
Anyway.
glass.
But yes, there was much cheering, clapping. The festivities continue. A lot of people seem to be more energized by the death of a Dornishman. Others seem less. The less is definitely in the minority. But the grand ball goes on, and there is...
That's 2 Dornishmen.
Yes, it is true. But there is no grand interruption, no plot reveal to be had. It is merely a raucous and enjoyable night. So unless anyone needs to say or do anything...
I do want to go, I do want to find the Frostmoors.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And I want to find Lord Silas.
You find him quite easily. Wearing all black with white furred trimming, and his piercing mask-like face and strange blue eyes and white hair.
Goth asshole. All right.
A man who you would swear was born without eyelids.
Oh, he's like he's like a lizard.
A little bit.
And I'm going to tell him is that I don't know if you got my letter or not, but I hope that at some point before House Weirlight leaves Kingslanding, I can still take you up for that drink.
He turns to you and he goes, I did gain your letter, but I think perhaps I misunderstood it. As I generally do not drink in taverns. I dislike the company of it. But I think you will find in the coming days an invitation, I think, to Dark Hale for that drink.
Huh. I look forward to it.
Will you?
I do.
I think, good. I will make it a good drink.
You're an interesting man. I hope, I do hope that, you don't find this too forward, but, I do look forward to, having a non-pageantry contest with you at some point.
I as well.
Right.
Staring forward, not looking at you.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to I'm gonna find just find some more alcohol.
As you begin walk away, you do see that girl, that kind of wild girl you're aware of,
Mhm.
as you walk away, just weirdly blurt out, "The leopard got her spots!"
I turn to her, and I look at her, and I, my lady, would you care to dance?
Yes. And she just will grab you and pull you onto the dance floor. It's not like strong, but she's just very willful.
I can tell. I will dance with her.
It is.
I will dance with this strange wild girl.
Whatever dance she's doing, it's not what anyone else is doing, but it is. It is her dance.
Let the music take you. That's fine. I twirl her like a princess, anyways.
She doesn't. She more clings when that happens, but yeah, she twirls. All right. Anyone else?
There were a couple people, but I got a feeling that they might get invited to the birthday thing, so like we can slide that over.
Okay. Well, then, if there's nothing else, then the grand ball continues and ends. Henrik, do you spend the rest of the ball with Scarlet?
I do.
Excellent. At one point, she does drag you over to talk and drink with Tiger and Iris. And they gladly engage. And for the first time in a while, even when talking to you, Iris's smile for just this night does seem like genuine. And like she's enjoying herself, talking with her friends. At one point, Mariella, you also engage with Walton and a few others, and talking. Scarlet talks to you about what happened. I'm sure you inform her of some things.
Yeah. I give some lovely warning notes on like. You've heard of Ashela, but you haven't heard of Ashela.
Right. Yeah, she definitely she's not shocked like you maybe expect a normal lady to, but she definitely is like, oh crap.
Yeah.
She doesn't look scared though.
No, it's not a case of like I'm out to scare
"What a
her or
wicked-"
anything. It's
Yeah,
like
of course.
so you're fully aware.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
Yeah, and she goes, "Thank you for informing me. What a wicked little girl."
This is what I've lived with.
He goes, "I see. Like, it seems there's a Cersei in every generation."
Yeah, I think if anything, like there's maybe like a slight like elbow tap of like if you need a refuge.
And she taps your hand and she goes, "Same."
Friends.
Yeah. Well,
Besties.
yeah.
And you said Henrik, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be like before like the night ends. I think like
Yeah.
while things are winding down, I'll hug Scarlet a bit. Like, I'm glad you and my sister are friends and get along. She's very dear person and very. I think she deserves a lot, and I'm glad she has a good friend and someone who's a nice and intelligent person like you.
She smiles. She goes, "Well, you were far too sweet. And you act as if I gave my friendship to your sister as a charity, as if she did not win it with her own wit and words."
That's fair.
Like,
I don't know if... Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
as you have earned my affection.
I don't know if my sister has made this offer. These would be cool because I did make the same to Ashela, but that was mostly out of courtesy and a reason for her to not bite my head off. But if you and your brother would like to come to my sister's 16th name day, I would be most honored.
She smiles and kind of grips your hands and pulls herself closer and kisses you on the cheek.
Okay.
Like just embarrassed, and she goes, "I would like that very much." But yes, you while away your youth and your night, and everyone seems to have a good time. I think lots is done, and I will say, Clarissa, you are gone.
Schnockered. You're just schnockered.
By the end of it, as everyone's like leaving, you are barely know where you are, and
I hope
well,
Clarissa.
very well. Then Thorsten, then you're the one to see. Clarissa, you're like barely really understanding even how you're getting home right now. Thorsten, you of course help Clarissa.
Yes.
But after you come down the steps of the Red Keep, Thorsten, you allow someone else to help, as I think we see a guardsman we haven't seen in a little bit, who seems to be like up and about.
Yay! Jared!
Mm-hmm.
I was actually. This is what I was expecting to happen. Is you come down the stairs, and as soon as you get to the bottom of the stairs, she's perfectly fine. She was faking the whole time.
Nah, she's super drunk. God.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, but Jared does come up and go, Maester, can I help?
Of course. Thank you.
And suddenly, Clarissa, you're just supported on another side. And you smell the smell, and it just feels really comforting and nice.
And she's finally going to get some sleep.
Maybe.
Yeah, she
For
does.
once.
In fact, she does get some sleep. As the next morning, when you all awaken very late.
So next afternoon.
Yeah, no, because you're nobles, that's quite late. So it's about probably 4 in the afternoon. However, even though you wake up late, all of you want to get the hell out of this city.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Please, God, let us leave.
It looks like all of your people have already packed all of your things.
How's Constance
and,
doing?
Yeah.
She
my
is.
girl.
She is well enough to move herself and be helped out. There has been some changes. Your family has purchased another carriage. This one is essentially a bed for Vivian, and then like 2 bench seats for some people to keep her company.
We also now have Iris to transport as well, potentially.
She is in fact going with her own house and her
Okay.
own and their carriage.
That's why I said potentially.
And Tiger.
It seems Tiger is going with them.
Yes!
They greet you a farewell. On their way out because you guys were staying together. I will say, Naimora and Clarissa, you do notice on the way out, you do see on a lone horse, Orton Lucas. And as he seems to see you, he just regards you and bows very deeply on his horse. But doesn't engage you in any further than that.
Is there like a universal like write me, like
Kind of like the check
Sound
motion
very
that you make at a restaurant.
Mhm.
Bird.
Jesse,
that I can
bird
like,
me.
that I can like make at him? He's just like
Sure, yeah.
yeah.
He looks surprised, but
It's called a tweet.
warrants a very small smile and nod.
Told him.
Kind of looks down and keeps on his way. But all of you turn, all of you on carriages or horseback. Yes,
Alley Cat still with us? Like,
Yes,
cool.
she has not scampered off.
Good.
Hell no, she's already in the carriage. She was just like,
Vibrating in place. Just
Excited.
never
to
been
get
in
out
a
of-
I'm getting
I've
out!
never been in a carriage before.
Getting out of the
ready,
city!
Well, I've never been transported in a carriage. Been in a carriage doing something else in it. It's murder.
Maybe never been out of the city, so it's like this is new in general.
You guys all
It's
turn as you're
murder.
moving out the gate of the gods, as you all wave goodbye to King's Landing.
Not waving.
As
the one-fingered salute?
Alley Cat is just like...
That's going on in Mariella's head. It's like, I've had enough of this shit.
I guess you're riding on the back of the carriage, just
Oh yeah, she's just like... As
Incredible.
you all leave... I get jumped by bandits! No.
I knew it.
And thus ends our King's Landing arc. Royal Tournament.
Birthday is imminent, Aaron!
Never all in one piece.
Holy shit.
More or less.
More or less.
Yeah.
No, there's no pieces missing.
The only
Yeah,
one
they may not
completely
be
in one piece.
Held together all that well, but there's no pieces.
The one that came in like they arrived out of the proper family. This kid.
Hey,
I mean-
Thorsten too.
But did you?
Thorsten
Mention
had to
Aaron
give up his
every
name.
day.
Anyways,
But Mariella, have you?
I'm physically all in one piece. But
It's
Tony,
true.
yes.
But we bring a close. I have already kind of gifted you guys your glory, but for completing this, all of you gain a destiny point. So Vivian gets the one she lost.
Yes.
Yep.
As it shows your role in the fate of this world isn't done yet, apparently. Therefore, destiny point. I think when we come back to this story, we will have a very fun, kind of shorter, much shorter section of the twins' name day and the hustle and bustle of what one of the birthday of one of the heirs of the great houses looks like.
Because teacher came in, a major minor lord. He's leaving a minor major lord.
Yes,
I
am.
need
Like,
12.
incredible.
I
My
need
status?
2,000 butterflies.
Is now 6.
Oh, you did it! You raised it.
He did
Yes, I
it.
did.
Nice. You did it.
Yes, you guys are officially major. I think not even you were a major house in the Reach. You are now a major house in Westeros.
Nice.
Incredible.
All right, so I know what to save up my points for.
Excellently well done, my players. I am very, very, very proud of you and very glad that your characters are safe, if not changed a bit, as King's Landing is wont to do. As we know, the last time we saw a prominent family we follow enter King's Landing, they did not leave whole.
They came south when they shouldn't. We went north.
It's true.
So, there is one thing I would like to do as we're on our way back.
What is that, teacher?
I will write a letter to Lord Danette.
Oh, we will see
And
the
send
effects
it
of
on
that.
my bird.
Yeah, but I think yes, we will see the effects of that later. But that is a good teaser. Thank you so much for joining us on this
Yes.
up and down roller coaster of an arc. So many moments we did not know what was going to happen, but the truth was found out due to
Stress.
raw determination and insanity, and of course the ever-present lack of sleep. So
Say that again.
thank you so much for joining us. And when we are seen again, we would love for you to join us to see what other stories House Weirlight can tell. Until then, goodbye.
Night.
Goodbye.
Good night.